Welcome back, and of course this is Sporty Monday, the most comprehensive sports show in the land. As promised, you can see I have my guest already here, the basketball stars, as well as the lady who calls the shot in, how do you call it, the boardroom. Yes, in the boardroom. She's here. She'll be talking to us shortly. But first, before I engage them, my colleagues Ziti Jimoy and Basil Ogembo are on the scoreboard ready to break down for us this Nairobi City Thunder. Ni mnyama gani? It has become a phenomenon. Ziti, if you can hear me, take it away.
Yes, thank you so much, Sila. Of course, we're going to tell you the best of Thunder and the signing they've done this season. And again, as we've said, of course, the Basketball African League will be played here, the qualifiers will be played here in Kenya starting from November 28th to again December 3rd, of course, in the Nyayo and Kasarani gymnastics. Of course, tutambiwa timings, bado saiza tujajua timing, but we know that. We know one of the teams is arriving today at around 11 a.m. I think it's from Rwanda. So we'll start with one of the players for Thunder. That will be Taylor, please. Taylor is from Kenya. Of course, he plays as a guard and a forward. He has played outside Kenya, of course, in Germany, Denmark, Russia, Ivory Coast. Tell us, this is a positive addition to the Thunder team.
Taylor is one of the best additions to the Thunder team. He's somebody who's won in Africa, he's won in Europe. So he's somebody who is going to bring that much needed oomph to that team. And Taylor has also been a mainstay in the national team until the time that he called it off. But when he was in the national team, he was carrying us on his back. So I'm sure he's going to carry Thunder on his back when it matters.
I saw somewhere that he's saying he's coming back to the national team. Taylor, karibu sana, najua unanisikiza hapa studio. So utatuambia kama umerudi, kama unafanya nini, unarudi national team. Of course, the second player that we have is Derek Ongech. Of course, again, he's here with us in the studio. He's from Kenya. He plays as a guard. Of course, he has played in Spain, in the USA. Yani, Thunder ni ile inambia watu msisi tutaki. As much as we have local, but we have even international players. Talk about Derek Ongech. How is he to the team? The
time I knew about Ogechi was when he was in college. He was doing well. He was averaging over 20 plus points for his college. Then he went professional. And when he came to the national team, you saw what he did. Also averaging, I think it was 26 points per game. So he's somebody who's also going to add that offensive power to the team. So I'm also so glad to see that Ogechi is in this team. And I want to see how they're going to match with Taylor, because now I believe they've already created the chemistry that was not there back when they started the road to BAL.
Sula, you'll ask Taylor kama aliona huyu kijana yetu akicheza, because anasema walikuwa na yeye shule moja. So please ask him kama they were opponents by the way when they're playing in high school. So we have got a Nigerian, one of the Abdullahi, I hope I'm saying it, Abdullahi, yes, from Nigeria. Of course, this plays as a shooter. Shooter inataka kuwe mrefu so that you
sio mrefu, like me, I'm a shooting guard. So
shooting guard. Oh, you played as a shooting guard. Okay, so you lazima tujue unaeka wapi kwa hiyo shimo. Okay, sawa. Of course, he has played in Senegal, Ivory Coast, in Cameroon. He is again an international player. What he's going to add to the Thunder team? Okay,
he's bringing the BAL experience to the team, and he's been one of the most outstanding players in BAL. He's been in the all-defensive team in BAL. So that means Thunder is also going to have something to show when it comes to defense. I was also so happy to see Abdullahi join Thunder.
Yes. You've seen him play. Yeah. You know how he plays. Yeah. Okay, again, another player that has joined Thunder, of course, he's William Davis from the USA. Of course, he plays as a center. And then, of course, he has played in the US. He has played in Canada. And then in Canada, what do you think about Davis?
Davis was a revelation in the previous but I think he got injured. I'm not sure if he really got, because he had a very bad injury on their last game in their qualifiers. But he was one perfect player. In fact, he was the leading scorer when they played in the previous round.
I hope, Davis, you're doing well, and we'll hope to see you, of course, from 28th November to 3rd of as they are playing. Let's talk about Okal Errol, of course, from Kenya. He plays as a forward. He has played in Kenya, Burundi, of course, and Tanzania. I want to talk about Okal kidogo.
Looking at Thunder, the whole team has international experience. I've played for their national teams. Okal has played for Kenya for so many years. He's won in Kenya, Burundi, everywhere. So he's going to add something to that team, that experience, and that he also has that zeal. Hakuna mtu akona zeal kama ile Okali ile.
Yes. Again, we have my other friend from Nigeria, and then you also Uchene. How is Uchene going to help? He plays as a pointer guard.
If you watch the previous round, you would see he's a good point guard. He was controlling the offense very well, and he was running the offense very well. Back then, they are not even gelled well. Now imagine what is going to happen now that they've been training together, playing a lot of games.
He has played for Qatar, Guinea, and the USA. Of course, there is an international player. And then as we go on, another player is Mojak. Of course, he born in Lebanon, but he's from South Sudan.
South Sudanese born in
okay, South Sudanese born in Lebanon. Okay, he's played as a center power forward. He has played with the different teams, as you can see, even in the Gold Coast, like different teams. He's again an international player. These are very nice additional to the Thunder.
I think one of the best, because Ater, first of all, he brings that experience. He has also won the BAL. He was an all-defensive team 2022, where all BAL team. Somebody who is perfect. Like actually, when Thunder signed him and he was unveiled, people were so happy because now you have somebody like Taylor, you have Ater, you have Abdullahi, you have Ogechi in your team.
We have the fixtures. We have the pools out, of course, as we played for the East Division. Of course, after this, we're going to play Al Hilal. They are the reigning players, the reigning champions. What do you think? Do you think Thunder are in a very favorable pool?
I have hopes with this pool. First of all, if you look at this, all these are new teams. And I was looking at how they played on the West. They were not that good, but then again, it's basketball. You have to play well. But I believe in the squad we have as Thunder, and I know they're going to do better. In this group, I know they're going to do better. I'm worried about the other group. The other group.
Okay, this is the other group that he's talking about, Group B. We have City Oilers, of course, from Uganda. We have Urunani from Burundi, and then we have other teams. What do you think? Why are you worried about this group?
Okay, we have City Oilers and Mainstay. Urunani, actually, last year they didn't qualify. It was Dynamo. But now, Urunani, you saw how they played. They have a very good team. They did very good signings. And this team, in case we move, I believe, when we move to the next round, I know it's going to be something that is going to be a Karakova game. City Oilers also has been there year in, year out. It's a good experience team.
Thank you so much, Basil. Of course, on 28th November to 3rd of December, all the roads will be leading to Nyayo and Kasarani Gymnasium. Of course, let us go and support Thunder, who will be representing Kenya in this tournament. Back to you, Sila.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Zita Jimoy there and Basil Ogembo breaking it down for us. And of course, as promised, this is the time for the quick fire segment. And I have with me in studio Tyler Ongwae, that's a player at Thunder to my extreme right. Tyler, karibu sana.
Asante.
And next to him is Sandra Kimokoti, who is the co-founder and chief business officer at Twende Sport. Sandra, hujambo?
Sijambo.
Good to have you here.
Good to be here, thank you.
And absolutely, to my immediate right is Derek Ongechi, who is also a player at Nairobi City Thunder. Derek, good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Absolutely. Let's go straight into it, and I'll start with you, Madam Kimokoti. You've seen what my colleagues have shared on the scoreboard, but basically from the administrative perspective, how ready, how geared are you for this tourney?
We are absolutely ready. We've assembled a magnificent squad of both Kenyan local players, bolstered by international players. So if you look at the team, the coaching squad, they're fully locked in. And then we as the admin exec team, we're also fully supporting them on the back end. So I think we're ready for this. We're very excited that it's getting hosted at home. Gives us a chance to show Kenyans and our local fans what's actually on offer with local basketball and continental basketball. So we're ready and we're excited.
Excited. Tyler, your boss says she's excited. Are you as much?
Yeah, we're excited. Right after the first qualifiers, we have really worked hard, and it being at home for our fans, and we're excited and we are waiting for it.
Excited waiting for it, but look at that group that has been discussed on the scoreboard. What are your prospects if you look at the competition?
I mean, all these teams are good teams. That's why they have qualified for the Elite 16. And also, I think for us, we have really worked on what we made mistakes in the last qualifiers, and I think we give ourselves a good chance in this group. Yeah.
Okay. Derek, you come locally with a lot of exposure. You've played in the West, and probably now you're playing your basketball locally. Probably give us comparison. How does it differ, Kenyan basketball, and of course in the West where you featured?
Here in Kenya, in Africa overall, it's very physical. Games played physically, offensively and defensively. Where in the West, it's more like skill-based players or like ISO. So it's been an adjustment, but it's been a good one, and I'm enjoying it so far.
Enjoying it so far, but talk about facilities. How have you been able to cope this? I know in the West it's quite seamless. Probably here we could have some teething problems. How have you been able to cope into this?
At first it was a big change, but then I'm used to being in different environments. I played in the Dominican Republic where the courts weren't as good as playing in the States. And then now being in Kenya, it's not terrible, but you know, it could be better.
It could be better, but probably before I go to Talia, somebody would ask, Derek, why did you leave the West and come to Kenya? And probably better prospects, somebody would say, in the West as opposed to Kenya. What informed that change?
I wanted to be one of the first Kenyan teams to make the BAL, so that opportunity was the big reason I'm here, and also to get better with my national team teammates and play alongside those guys. So that was the opportunity I wanted to take, and that's the reason why I'm here.
Tyler, look at that group, and actually last time out, you guys lost to Burundian side, Urunani, if I got that pronunciation right. What are the lessons you've learned from that failed dream, and probably what we should expect on the court when this competition tips off November 20th?
The game was a close game. We really lost the game the last 2 minutes of the game, and we watched the game film, and the mistakes we did, we have corrected the last few weeks. And I think if we play them this coming week, then we'll try our best to get that win.
Try your best. What's the aim actually in this competition? What should Kenyan basketball fans expect? Could Thunder go all the way?
For us, we don't think that way. We think each and every game matters, and that's our approach. We're going to approach each game different from game in. So I think we'll be ready. And we hope our fans come and rally behind us.
From the boardroom, that's where you do these operations. Maybe the coming of BAL, Elite 16. I know there's partners, FIBA, that's the International Federation, as much as NBA. What kind of influence do you think this is gonna have on Kenyan basketball? What are the ripple effects you expect after this turn or from this turn?
Yeah, so I think one of the things we expect to see is a growth in the local fandom. Even before BAL came, when you get players coming for our games for the first time who have not come before, I didn't realize actually how fun this game is, right? And so now having just a more elevated level of the game that's being hosted in Kenya, we expect more fans to tune in, either live at the stadium or on TV, and so we expect to see more eyeballs and grow the game. And we also expect it to be something that younger players, younger kids can aspire to, and say that if I choose to go down this path, I can play for a local club, but that club can actually take me outside Kenya to a continental level and globally. So we expect to see fandom growing, and we expect to see more kids gaining an interest in the sport. Yeah.
And again, what is it you guys are doing differently? This trophy before you, actually, this is the league title. You guys won the last term and actually bagged this title unbeaten. What is that you guys are getting right that probably the other teams are struggling with?
So we have, I would say, 3 things that we focus on. One is the product and the players. If your players are well taken care of, your coaching staff is well taken care of, then you're guaranteed to have a good product. Number two is the business side of things. If you want to be able to invest well in players, the numbers have to work, right? And so we focus really on building commercial partnerships that make sense, offering our fans a product that they are willing to invest in by coming to our games. And then third is really the fans, right? Because fans are who power the game. If you have no fans watching, it's very hard to convince partners to come on board and support you. And so for us, the fan experience is very important. You spoke about arenas and facilities. We are working with what we have and trying to make the most of it. But even beyond that, looking at how we can engage fans outside of game day as well, doing watch parties for them in other venues, having merchandise sales. So just really those three things: the product, commercial, the sustainability, and then the fans. Yeah.
And absolutely, you've talked in depth about what you guys are doing and the philosophy and all that. But somebody watching there would be intrigued. How do I become part of this good project? You'd be intrigued. How do I become part of this good project? And of course, you're big in Nairobi. You are now a top-tier team, bagging the title. But what measures do you have from the boardroom to ensure that the many talents we have in various parts of the country get a chance probably to realize their dreams, like Tyler or Derek?
Yeah. So Nairobi City Thunder is, if you think about it, that's the pro team that we have. But behind that pro team, we also have a team that plays in the Nairobi Street League, so like a youth team, right? And so for young kids who want to get involved in basketball, that's also another avenue that you can plug into. And our coaches, we have a team of coaches who are constantly watching these games, the Street League games, the high school games. So as long as you're in the basketball ecosystem and you're talented, we'll see you, right? Yeah. Yeah.
And Tyler also quite huge experience, both locally and internationally probably. And now you look at Thunder, you're doing very, very well. Probably what valuable skills do you think this competition offers? Because you're going to face some of the very, I'll call them creme de la creme clubs from Africa and facing very, very tough opposition. What opportunity does it probably present to you as the players?
It gives us a platform to be seen, especially for the local guys who it's their time now to at least develop their game and play high competition. So I think it's a good avenue for them. And also majority of them, we are teammates in the national team. Yeah. So they have been to this stage before. So I'm confident that we will be able to succeed.
And playing professional basketball out, you've done that in plenty, probably. What are some of the areas an athlete needs to focus on before you opt to go abroad, sign a professional contract? You've been a dozen of countries, and of course it comes with its own challenges. How should one really gear for this kind of contract?
To be honest, high professional is very hard. And you have to really prepare yourself to be able to play at that platform. So it's just to work hard every day, prepare yourself. And I think if you work every day and prepare yourself, then you give yourself a chance when the time comes.
And Derek, to you watched the Olympics and you saw the South Sudanese, actually as much as they didn't go all the way, but look at how compact they were, how they gave the Americans a run for their money in the group match. And I know probably featured with some of them at age groups, probably. What do you think the South Sudanese, and of course they have a lot of exposure in American League and several in Europe, probably what do you think we can borrow from South Sudanese basketball? Of course, infrastructure remains a major challenge, but you talk of Africa right now, South Sudan is the team to beat.
I think as a country, those guys have been playing together, many times, and now Nairobi City Thunder has brought all of Kenyans on one team. So I think just that alone, like being able to mesh and come together, will help us moving forward as a national team. And then the younger guys, now they start playing together and now develop year by year after each other, and then we'll obviously grow basketball.
And you're still pretty young, probably. What are your ambitions in this game? You've said you came to feature for the Morans, rightfully so, but what should we expect from Derek maybe the next 5 years, both at club and national level?
just keep playing as hard as I can, and hopefully be featured as one of the best African players and be on one of the best African teams. Best African teams.
Madam, as we wind up, probably your rallying call to the nation and, of course, your vision for the team going forward?
Yes, our vision for the team is to become a BAL team in the upcoming season. Rallying call to the nation is, this is the first Kenyan team to make it this far in the Basketball Africa League competition. And so please come out and support our team at Nyayo and Kasarani stadiums. Follow us on social media at Nairobi City Thunder. We are not just a team for Nairobi, we're a team for Kenya, because out there we're representing Kenya. Absolutely. And we'd love to have the whole country behind us. Yeah.
Tyler, signing of good players or quality players, quote unquote, has this made work easier for you in the team and even in the league as we wind up?
Even before that, we already had a really good squad, and just then adding these players is going to really elevate our team. But the most important thing is we have to play as a team. We have to play for each other, we have to share the ball, and we have to work hard on defense. And I think if we do that, then it gives us a chance.
Give us a chance. Okay, Derek, should we look forward to you lifting that title?
That's the plan.
Okay, that's the point, says Derek. And of course, that's Tyler Ongwae, a player at Thunder, Nairobi City Thunder. And of course, he's joined by Derek Ongechi, also a player, as well as Madam Sandra Kimokoti, who is the co-founder and chief business officer at Twende Sports. We thank you for making time to grace this program. And of course, we are looking forward to the competition from November 28th. And we wish you guys all the very best in the competition.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Isaac.
And of course, as a fan back home, you can only support the team. Let's all go to the Nyayo National Gymnasium and the Kasarani Indoor Arena and cheer our boys as they fight for glory. And now, Kenya's top